he's trying to look for that supporting cast. Swanny has actually been holding down bottom porter like a beast here.
This is Swanny's house, man.
Yeah, it is, man. And actually, I think, to be honest with you, OpTic's really struggle with their SMG classes to knock Swanny off of that spot.
All right, well.
Left, smoking B on left-hand side. There's one on B as well. Last one red caution. Pushing left. Red caution.
All right, we are back, and man, those guys are getting aggressively pumped up right now.
Yeah, I mean, why not, dude? They've got a huge lead, and if they, not only is this win clearly locked up in the books for Epsilon, you put an OpTic Gaming in a demoralized position going into a game 2 when you beat them this badly. Because what happens is, as a player, you start second guessing, like, can I even really beat these guys? Because they're getting trounced right now.
If you go to Reddit COD Competitive, you always see kind of who are your top 10 player lists. They always put all Americans in that list. Swanny showing why he should be considered one of the best in the world. 12, make it 13-3, still with ammo enough to get one more player. He is Swanny there just showing off that if you see this man, if you don't hit him with the headshot, he is going to kill you faster. His aim just so precise to start the day. Another one. It's like his bullets do more damage than everyone else.
Yeah, man. Sometimes when you watch some of these players, that's what it feels like. There's no doubt about it. He was in some power positions for map control in this map, and people didn't knock him off of it.
Here's a 3-piece for Swanny. Gets the double instead. 113 to 53. Add on the 16-point bonus from the first half, and that is one of the biggest blowouts we have seen in any domination game through group play.
I mean, I'm like incredibly impressed by Swanny.
Who is Swanny? Who is this player who the largest competitive Call of Duty organization that we know decided to pick up for one of their 2 teams? Who is this player that Hector Rodriguez, OpTic Hex, decided was worth it to fly all the way from the EU to work out whatever details it took to get him a visa, to be here, to play competitively, and to make money from it? Who is Swanny? Callum Swan is 21 years old. He's been playing games since he can remember, since he was a little kid, on his PC. He didn't start playing competitively Call of Duty until Modern Warfare 3, and it was actually his 4th place finish at COD XP that won his team $100,000 and him $25,000, that convinced him that playing competitive Call of Duty was a viable option for his future, to where now, currently, today, he's not in school at all. He grinds Call of Duty. That's what he does. He is known as one of the best ARs in the EU. Now he's in the NA, he's in the North American scene. It'll remain to be seen if he's going to stay over here, but he was known as one of the best ARs, arguably the best AR, the best Slayer in the European scene. He was on the team Epsilon, which them and TCM basically just kind of bounced back and forth for who was the best. And if you... He's been in his gaming career since Modern Warfare 3, he's been on 2 teams, in my opinion, Prophecy and Epsilon. He was on Prophecy for half his career, he was on Epsilon for the other half of his career. Now, he was also on Vitality for one event, he was on Infused for one event, but for the most part, he's been on those 2 teams, and it was after Epsilon dropped their North American squad, which we formerly knew as like the Farico guys, and we all know about what got them dropped, all the, you know, look at my bank account, you're sitting there watching, all that kind of stuff. Once they dropped that team, they went back to the EU and picked up a squad, and Swanny was one of those players, and he joined his duo Jerd, who would just see great success during the time that they were together. In the European scene, Swanny and Epsilon were able to maintain a average of 3rd place. That was their average, was 3rd place. They averaged the top. They never finished outside of the top 4 when it was as in the European scene. Now, in the 3 times that Epsilon came to North America, they didn't see the most success. They finished 8th at COD Champs in 2013, but they didn't see the most success. And that team, if their average only bumps up to like a 4.5 if you add in their North American finishes. They actually, Swanny's team did not do very well at all, Vitality at MLG Columbus, but Swanny maintained at Columbus. He had a 27 kills per respawn. He got 27 kills per respawn and had a 1.01 KD. So he still did well. He did reasonably well as an individual. And I think that him as a pickup for OpTic Nation is perfect. One of the things you're going to learn really fast about Swanny, if you've been watching him, he's been streaming on the OpTic Gaming channel on MLG.tv. If you listen to him, he is not afraid immediately to start calling out like crazy, to communicate, to even at times tell his team what to do. Even though he's new to the North American scene, he kind of just hit the ground running. And I'm really excited for what this guy is going to do on this OpTic squad. A lot of people have been tweeting at me asking me, who the heck is Swanny? Who is this guy? You know, and why would they pick him up instead of getting somebody from North America? I think they made a good choice. You know, I think that Swanny is that player that, you know, you take a risk on. And if any team was going to grab an EU player to see how that would work out, it was going to be OpTic. And I appreciate Hector and the team and for taking that risk. And I think that Swanny is going to work out perfectly well. You know, we get to hear a cool accent while we're listening to listen-ins for OpTic Nation. He replaced Imbos, and I just believe that his intelligence is what is going to be paramount for this team. When Swanny was asked, he was asked one time in an interview, they asked him, so do you believe that you should watch other teams' streams, or should you just pay attention to fixing what's broken in your own game? And I want to read you guys his response. He said, as with most team games and conventional sports, analysis of the opposition is imperative at a professional level. While your primary concern should always be improving your own strategy, knowing the situational habits and preferences of rivals is always useful. COD IQ is high. Swanny, if you ask him what makes a great AR player, which he would be defined as, what makes, and you saw that in the opening clips, what makes him a great AR player? What makes a successful Slayer in your mind? Swanny's answer to that question would not be that you have to have a good shot. Swanny's answer to that question would be position, position, position. It's like when you go start a business, they say location, location, location. That is the way that Swanny approaches playing competitive Call of Duty. It's not necessarily about how many kills you get. It's about where you get those kills at. So if you go negative 18 and 24, your 18 kills could be more important than the guy on the other team going 32 and 23, which is very true. It really depends on if you're blocking, if you're getting kills on rotation, if you're preventing somebody from capping a flag, if you're getting cutoffs that allow someone else to run a flag home, if you're getting those 18 kills on the hard point, it's where you get the kills that matters. And Swanny, what makes him an excellent player is that what's most important to him is being in the right place, is not taking shots. It's taking shots from the right position on the map, and I think that is going to go leaps and bounds well for OpTic Nation. It's interesting because TP and Proof have formed this kind of camaraderie, but I think that you may see a kind of like a duo formed between TP and Swanny. That's just my opinion. I don't think Karma is the kind of player to actually have a duo. He's just Karma. You know, he's got a kid and a wife, and I don't think he's the type of player to have a duo. And I do think that you're going to see a tight relationship form between TP and Swanny. As far as the leadership of that team goes, the vocal leadership, I believe that it's going to come from those two players. This guy has won nearly $50,000, more than $50,000, playing competitively. And Swanny would say that his worst memory for Call of Duty, the worst loss he's taken, is in 2013 at COD Champs when they were up 2-0 on Team Envious, and they blew a 2-0 map lead to lose the series 3-2 and finish 8th, which, you know, of course, 8th at COD Champs was like $32,000, so he still took home $8,000. But Envious went on to place second behind Farico at that same event and take home $200,000. So it did sting a little bit. And Swanny would say that's his worst loss. When asked last year in November in an interview, when he was asked what North American player would you most want to play with, he said Scump. And so he's close. You know, it's like he's in the OpTic family. He's close to playing with Scumpy. He probably will play with Scumpy sometimes now that he's going to be in North America. He can play in the same time frame, and so he can play 8s with him, maybe play in a 4v4 tournament or something, fill in for somebody with him. So that'll be cool, and I'm sure that Swanny is very excited. When Swanny was asked about the viability of making money as a competitive player, it's interesting. His answer was that you can't just depend on tournament wins. That's not a viable way to make money as a competitive player. You have to count on your social media, you have to upload videos, you have to stream, and he, of course, you know, mentioned that Nadeshot was the best example of that. And so it's interesting because Swanny doesn't have a YouTube channel. Now, that's probably because the EU competitive scene on YouTube is it's in an infancy. And I think Swanny can really help it take off. He's now on OpTic. He's already started streaming, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him start making YouTube videos. I mean, I'm just, the more and more that I read about this guy, the more interviews I watched, the more gameplay I watched of him, and the little bit of gameplay I've been able to see on Advanced Warfare, I am extremely excited. I think just like when they picked up Flamesword as the coach and then kept him, or they picked up Imbos and then kept him, even though he didn't stay in the original position that he was hired for or brought into the organization for, I see Swanny as someone who his personality fits the brand of OpTic. Great pickup for OpTic. I'm really looking forward to what this team is going to be able to do with him on their team. You guys let me know in the comments, what do you think about Swanny? What do you think about him as a player? And if I missed something for you guys that are in the EU that are like, you forgot about this, you forgot about this, you forgot about this, and Swanny did this, and Swanny's done that, you guys let me know. He's a very vocal player. He calls out like crazy, and I just think that OpTic Nation made a good choice. This is your boy Kingdom Soldier, and I'll see you guys in the next video.